extensions that'll look like expeditions on. Man, it's too loud in me in your city.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now Newton. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll go on the ground. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practicing game.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. and the Redskins have it, they do. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Detroit! Over! Gun!
Back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Yeah, he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Here we go, fellas. Let's rock now. Green.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is Newton. This is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
All right, now look at 56.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now back to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Newton now on second down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They will go for it. Now Newton. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Connor. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On first down, Newton. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. You know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Off play action. Newton. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
But you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Hey, get right there.
Third and long, it's Newton. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll set him back 5. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll run it here. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up!
They'll look to throw here. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is fielded inside the 5. And now running right through it. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Here's Newton. And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
They'll give it to him up the middle. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. In for the score. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Newton on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
They fake the give. Newton. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And the ball is knocked out. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Go on the right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, Newton. He's going to wind up and air it out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Newton throwing again. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch him now, Barney!
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Gun. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 11 yards for number 11.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough, swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 44 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
It's no accident they've been moving the ball well all game long. This offensive line has done an excellent job adapting to everything the defense is throwing at them and creating holes for their runners.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And this Redskins offense continues to pour it on. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this? And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Newton. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton, he'll let it go deep for Beckham. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Detroit! Hey, 4 down. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And the Panthers, who were the least penalized team in the entire NFL last year, come up here on a 1st and 15. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. And they'll go on the ground. And he loses the football a second time. And the Redskins scoop it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around. And we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll look to throw. Scram for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Oh, another spin.
Hard to line him up when he does that.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. And his kick is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Here's Newton now on second down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Newton now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Panthers on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Newton. And now here's another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Complete. Richardson has it. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's counter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Toss play, Kamara. Always got some breathing room. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitch, complete. It's Lamb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Hot. Gone.
Looking to throw. Flushed out right. His throw caught right around the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. And
he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
20. 8. Right to the 3.
Newton on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers gain a bit of respectability. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And here come the Redskins now. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they made
pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Able to shake him off. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Now Newton on 1st down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
This is taken at the 3. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home, right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here, escaping the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy.
And a loose football. And this will be recovered by the offense, but it will be of little importance now as time has expired here in this first half. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Redskins, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Renegade.